So how good of a scarer was Earl the Terror Thompson? I mean, he held the all-time scare record for 3 years, sustained a 12-year-long career at Monsters Incorporated, and he even got his start with Roar Omega Roar at Monsters University. In many ways, he seemed to have the perfect career, but the truth is, that's not the full story, because in his early years as a scarer, he actually underperformed. But why did he struggle in the beginning of his career? What did he do to course correct? And how did he inevitably claim the top spot? Well, by going through his background and his scare stats, I have the answer. Oh, and by the way, if you've been looking for a way to show your support for Sulley, Mike, and all of the monsters over at Monsters Incorporated, might I suggest checking out today's sponsor, Pair Eyewear. You see, Pair Eyewear creates affordable glasses frames that are focused on being highly personalized and simple to order. And right now, they're even collaborating with Disney and Pixar. What's unique about them is that the theme sections of their frames, which they call top frames, are actually interchangeable. And here's how it works. First, you choose a base frame. For me, I selected the Soto frames. These actually have my prescription lenses in them, but you can get glasses without any prescription if you don't need them. Then you choose your top frames. Of course, for this video, I chose the Monsters Inc. top frame, but I also got some that feature the emotions of Inside Out and the icons of Coco. And I even have a top frame that turns my frames into sunglasses. So if you want to have the versatility and customization of Pair Eyewear, they are here to help. And if you use my code Isaac Carlson Gift 15 at checkout, they'll even throw in a free gift with your purchase. Again, consider clicking my link below or scanning the QR code on screen to get your own pair of Disney and Pixar glasses today. Now, Earl the Terror Thompson was born on September 14th in his hometown of Widow's Peak, and with a height of 4 feet 8 inches and a weight of 179 pounds, he was on the smaller side for a monster who wanted to be a scarer. But he wouldn't let anything hold him back. According to his rookie scare card, while Earl was a soft-spoken monster, he nevertheless made a name for himself as a scarer all the way back in high school. For his accomplishments, he earned the nickname The Terror, and it would stick with him even when he transitioned to being a scare student at Monsters University. According to his scare card, Earl then quickly joined Roar Omega Roar, the most elite fraternity on campus, and soon rose to become one of the top scarers. In his senior year, he would be declared as the key member that allowed Roar Omega Roar to win the scare games. He would be chosen during the annual homecoming festivities to be MU's Scream King, and he'd even graduate Scara Cum Laude, making him one of the highest ranking scarers of his class. And for all of this hard work and success, Earl was inevitably recruited to the top screen producer in the monster world, Monsters Incorporated. In many ways, Earl the Terror Thompson had the perfect pedigree going into his scaring career, but while it seemed inevitable that Earl the Terror Thompson would soon claim his title as the top scarer of all time, that wasn't the case. The truth is that Earl's scaring career started off fairly slow. He didn't collect a significant number of full cans or have a record-breaking first year. His rookie card predicted that his focus and determination would carry him, and it absolutely did, but it would take years. Applying his skills and techniques to the human world was a non-trivial transition for him, but he would slowly gain momentum throughout his entire career. Earl never had a big moment that changed his scaring career forever. That's clear from his scare stats. He didn't suddenly start collecting more screams out of nowhere or drastically improve his roar. He just kept building up his scare total little by little over time until he was finally able to claim the all-time scare record for himself. There was no magic going on in his success. Earl just remained patient and kept making adjustments, and that allowed him to continue to improve throughout his entire career. In fact, Earl the Terror Thompson would actually collect the highest number of screams in his career in his 12th and final year as a scarer. So while Earl the Terror Thompson may have had an impressive academic career at MU, he was never going to be the biggest or scariest monster. To become a legend, he couldn't rely on anything but his grit and his willingness to last longer than anyone else. That's the reason he was the old-timer on the scare floor. He didn't break the old-time record because he was naturally terrifying and an obvious threat to children. He became one of the greats because he was willing to stay in the game long enough to get to the top. Now, unfortunately, I think it was this lack of raw talent that resulted in him being unable to separate himself from the next generation of scarers. That's why I believe he was only able to hold on to the record for 3 years. But claiming the top spot is still a notable accomplishment. For a brief period of time, the top scarer wasn't a monster who had the size, features, or the classically powerful roar. It was an old monster who refused to quit. Earl the Terror Thompson is the story of how never giving up can lead you to places no one ever expected of you. And by doing that, he inspired monsters like Mike and Sulley. He was said to have caused over 1,000 kids to wet their beds, and he earned his place in history as one of the greatest scarers of all time. If you'd like to see more Monsters Inc. videos like this one, follow for more. And finally, I'm Isaac Carlson. Thanks for watching and have a magical day.